Welcome to the Karina Show. Your eyes are not deceiving you. We do not have Karina with us today, but that is okay. We have Meghan TX, and she has received the honor of being the first small business owner that Karina highlighted in her email. So today we're going to get up close and personal and find out just a little bit more about who Meghan is, what her business is, and her journey thus far. So welcome.
Hi.
Awesome to have you.
I'm excited.
So you already answered some questions for Karina that we all got in our email, and we'll talk a little bit more about the email at the end. But so tell us about what it is you do.
I am a small business. I do charcuterie, grazing. I've kind of done a little more than that now, but charcuterie is my main thing.
Okay.
That I do.
And what inspired you to get into it?
You know, I'm pretty sure it was a coworker at my job that told me that I should, but I did it on the side, you know, like not even for pay, but like for personal and friends, and feeding people has always been like my thing. So, I don't know, I think I was crying every day dropping my baby off at daycare and going to work and trying to, I'm 27, it's taken me this long to find like what I'm passionate about. So this is it, and I think the coworker said, "Well, you should do this," and I'm like, "Okay."
So did you bring her your charcuterie presentation?
I think she may have saw pictures.
Oh, I see.
But they've always ordered from me too. But they've always been supportive. So I just kind of bought the logo, bought the business name, got licensed, and just made a Facebook page, and that's how it
One thing leads to another.
Yeah,
That's awesome. So when did you start it?
February of 2023. So
All
it's
right.
coming up on a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk to you about that because you're what it's been like in this first year, because I believe if you can weather these first couple years, and especially the first one, you can weather just about anything. So tell me, what has it been like? I got a lot of questions.
Honestly, it hasn't been as challenging as I thought. Not to say that it was easy, because it hasn't been. I know there's still like a long road to go, but the growth in the first year has been a lot more than I expected. So it's just, whenever you create something like this, you've got to have thick skin. And so I think that's been
Tell me more.
I think, people's opinions, you can't let people's opinions affect you, or competition affect you, and you just got to do your thing. And I think having the confidence and growing the confidence has been the hardest part for me.
100%.
Because I've never been a confident person, so
Up until now,
you just kind of have to fake it till you make it.
I have always hated that phrase.
Yeah.
My husband says that I get the purpose of what it means.
Yeah.
And he made some distinction, like you have to act like the thing that you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't like the word fake, because you're not fake.
No.
Your food's not fake. You aren't.
No, but you just have to pretend to have that confidence, and then eventually it just becomes normal.
Yeah. So quick question. You said that other people's opinions. Do you mean your like feedback from your customers, or just outside?
I think outside.
Yeah.
Maybe not even so much customers, because I appreciate good and bad feedback from them. So not that, but more so like gossip and people's opinions. You know, like when you start a small business, people are like, "Oh, that's never going to work," or "What is she doing?" or "Her stuff's not even that good." So it's just those outside opinions that I'm trying not to let bother me so much, because they really don't matter.
After a while, they matter less and less, but hello, we're human.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we'll get to the point where we're like, okay, haters gonna hate. But I heard a thing, and it's really, really true. People will be very happy to see you in your business succeed until you exceed what they've done, and then they turn on you.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna be straight up honest. It's true for me. I have other detailers that I watched, and I'm like, wow, I'm so inspired. They're killing it. Oh, but we don't have. They'll talk about their numbers, and they're not the same.
Yeah.
And then when all of a sudden they've eclipsed me, and like, okay, now a little jealousy bug pops in. But they're doing it. You gotta be happy for them. So it's true. Yeah. All right. What is your favorite thing about Washington County?
I think the small town feel of it, and like I said in the other interview questions, is like the small business support. All the small businesses support each other, and I think it's like my favorite thing, and also what encouraged me to start a small business, because that community is so welcoming. But that's one of the many things. I mean, my kids go to school here. My husband was in the military, and for like 4 years we had no structure. So settling down in a small town was important for me, for my kids. And that's one of the things I love about Washington County too, is the school district and the teachers and the bond my kids are growing and all those things. So
for sure. When we first moved here, we heard everyone say what you're saying, but not until being here for a few years did we really get it. Yeah, there's no joke about the community. Can you imagine this kind of support if you were in a bigger city?
Yeah, no.
You'd be making it, but through your own grit and marketing and all that.
Yeah.
Like, this is our first time to meet. And who connected us? Karina. I think she is like the networker, the connector, one of the biggest ones in Brenham, and she just shows everybody love.
Relationships are, I personally think, the number one thing in a small business.
Number one.
Is the relationships that you form.
Well, given that you know that in your first year, you're gonna, the sky's the limit. It took us a good while to understand that. We thought, excellent product. So what if you thought, well, when my boards are the most supreme, the most beautiful, the most, but if people don't enjoy calling you up to order and chatting with you for a minute,
right,
they'll go to somebody else.
It's funny you say sky's the limit, because it's actually not, because I work with Triton Air.
Yeah.
And we do charcuterie on their plane. So it's funny. It might have even been Karina who commented and was like, not even the sky's the limit.
It was. I looked at that post this morning. I love goals. Karina asked, what is one goal that you have? And you said, grow my business even more and make more connections. Also to book 3 weddings. So I'm answering your own questions. So here's what go ahead.
I actually have a lot of goals.
Okay, awesome.
Like, too many to name on there. But what were you going to ask me, actually?
I want to ask you, what's your action plan to achieve those?
Really just to continue to do what I've been doing. Have faith in God is like my number one thing, is because He's brought me this far and led me this far, and He's handpicked these people for my life. The past year I've met people in the craziest ways, and my goal is to just keep maybe getting out there more, because this past year I did get out there a lot, but at some points I kind of waited for people to come to me. But one thing I'm not going to do this year is wait for people to come to me. I'm going to go out and I'm going to meet people and just put in the effort, get out of my comfort zone, and go and meet more people and do more things. That's one big thing that I plan to do different.
Yeah. Are you a member of the Washington County Chamber?
I'm not. So last time I was there, they had mentioned.
Yeah.
So I may do that for my 1-year celebration.
Yeah. And just like anything, it's not, when you join, it doesn't mean people are going to be knocking down your doors. What you get into it is what you put into it is what you get out of it.
Yeah.
Right. So they have so many events, and we do find people welcoming there.
And I think what held me back from that was thinking that you had to have a storefront or something to do your grand opening, and she told me, she's like, no, you can do it here. So that may be my 1-year thing that I do.
Yeah.
Landing on that.
I had another question based around that, but it escapes me now, so maybe it'll come back. So who inspired you to do what you're doing?
Definitely my kids. I want to create a legacy for them, something that they can continue on if they choose to. I have 2 daughters and a son. I don't think my son will want to do this, but 2 daughters who are very much into eating what I make and making what I make. So just to be able to financially stay home with them, or to include them in what I'm doing, and build this dream not only for me but for them. And I plan to continue to grow and have like a workshop and all these things. So they inspire me the most. But I also have a very supportive husband. That's awesome. And he inspires me every day to work hard. So there's my husband and my kids are the two main things.
I'm glad you have him on your side. That's the key
Yeah,
ingredient.
it is for sure. Because I think I probably would have given up multiple times if he
Yeah.
wasn't there to
Right.
continue to push me.
Okay. So what would have made you want to give up?
I think during the slow times,
Yeah.
when business is slow, the first thing you want to do is say, "Oh, forget it. Like this is it. This is the end of it." But what I've learned is there is those slow seasons, and the busy seasons will make up for that.
Yeah.
So instead of just throwing in the towel, and I hate computer work. I hate taxes. I am not good at that. I'm good at making the food, but and there's been a few times where I've sat down on my computer and I'm like, I'm done. Like, forget it. But you just keep pushing and you just keep going, and then there'll be a period of time when it's like, oh, that was fine. That was nothing.
Yeah. So something in our business that what about your husband? Does he like computer work?
Yes and no. I think he really just doesn't have the time. I may eventually be hiring someone to help me with that part because I just cannot. But
so that's my passion.
The computer
all
work?
the nerdy, gritty, like Alex has the vision. We call him the visionary, and I'm the integrator. You tell me what you want, and I'm gonna go get the domain name, build the website, all that little stuff. Nothing makes me happier than balancing my bank account.
No, I can't.
No, it's awesome.
No, see,
so you find a person who's like, that makes me happy.
I find a person like you.
Yeah.
That's my goal, to find someone to help me, and to be successful enough to be able to hire someone on to help me, because I did get a little overwhelmed trying to do both sides of it.
Yeah.
But either to learn more, have someone teach me these things, and my dad, he's a financial officer, so he could be helping me, but it's like everybody's so busy,
right?
So I need to really focus on the computer work. That part's hard for me.
Well, when you're able to, it'll really be worth it. Even if it feels like you're taking a financial hit, it's saving you time, which means time back with your family, and your creative energies are freer, because that bogs you down when you're doing something you don't like doing. Yeah. But in the beginning, like, oh my God, I just finally hired a front desk person this year. So for me, I've had major mental hurdles to get over.
Yeah, that's been the most part, is the mental hurdles for me.
Yeah.
Like, what would you call, like, if I'm going to sit down and do things, like, more regularly?
So the fancy word for what you're talking about is called SOPs, Standard Operating Procedure.
Yeah.
And the more we dial that in, the easier the brain work gets for us.
Yeah.
Like, I even have a checklist for this where one of the top things on it, after we had set up our lights, hit record. Can you imagine if we did this whole
I know, I'm like looking at the camera, I'm like, wait, did we?
Yeah, right? But there's times where I sat down and made my own podcast and forgot to hit record, and I said, like genius jewels dropped out of my mouth and they went there.
Yeah, so that new routine of those procedures, that is another big goal for 2024 for me, is to be more organized.
Yeah.
And get it all in one place.
You're gonna crazy love that. I've got a book to recommend. It's called Checklist Manifesto, and it shows you how to make checklists for whatever your routines are.
That's what
like,
I mean.
hey, I'm taking my stuff. Now I have a checklist. Yes, I've got my food. Yes, I've got my utensils. Whatever that has to be set up. And so there's no like, oh my gosh, I showed up somewhere and I left 3 of my things. Hey, honey, can you bring it to me? And you're making it, and all of a sudden you're like, man, I was only making this much on this job because I was helping a friend out, and now I just took my margins and I've made it much smaller. So you shared with us already advice for somebody starting out, that you said your faith. You kind of just got to do it, take a leap. But do you have any tactical do's and don'ts? Like,
definitely do take your relationship seriously.
With your customer.
With your customers, with the people you encounter. Don't burn bridges. Make sure you're true to your word and stay true to yourself. And just keep your word. And
Any don'ts?
Definitely, I don't even know.
Yeah.
What do I think?
What if someone called you up and said, hey, I have 25,000 followers. Will you do my event? And I'm going to post you and you're going to get a ton of work off that. Will give it to me for free.
That'd be a no, because I would totally do that.
You would do it?
Yeah. I did do a lot of free things in this past year to get my name out there. And honestly,
so would you recommend that?
I would, yeah. Because you definitely do give into your business. I mean, I've spent the last year just reinvesting, and I've done a lot of fundraisers and a lot of free or cheap things to get my name out there. So I think that's definitely helped. But also, don't lower your standards and don't put yourself in a bind, and know your limits too.
Yeah.
Because it could become, people just using you and using you and using you. So, yeah, do that, but be careful.
Yeah.
When you do.
So for us, we've set criteria because everybody will ask you, and I do want to support, but I also want. I mean, yes, you're giving, but you're giving intentionally, right? So who's my audience? If my audience is local, because I don't sell products online that can go worldwide. If my audience is going to be like hyper local, yes, it's something. Is it a cause I believe in? Yes.
Yeah.
And so once I made those, because it used to be like every time I was stressing out, who do I say yes to? And I only have X funds, so now I even put aside some funds to be able to do that. And if you check off all the boxes, okay, we move forward.
Yeah, that's kind of been where I'm at.
Cool. All right, next question. This is a fun one. What is your favorite way to relax after a hard day's work and as a small business owner? Yep,
and that's definitely a hot shower, a good meal, and comfy PJs. I love spending time with my family, but I just don't really get sick of cooking.
Oh, really?
So
really,
I try. I mean, okay, I take that back. I do get sick of cooking because I have a very picky family.
Oh,
but I love just to take a hot shower, get my comfy PJs on, and then cook for my family. It's my favorite thing to do. So I'm trying not to scroll on TikTok as much. So that's another goal for 2024.
I found an app. You do have to pay for it, but it locks me off my phone from
really?
social media. And you tell it what to lock you off of from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
I might need that.
Yeah. It's helping me.
Because I want to read more, and I read a lot in 2020.
Tell us a book you recommend. Do you have any business book recommendations?
I don't have any business book recommendations at the moment because it is very hard for me to stay focused. But non-business related, Where the Crawdads Sing is my all-time favorite book. Yeah.
Did you see the movie?
I did see the movie, and it did not compare to the book.
So I never watched the movie because I heard such scathing things about how.
Yeah, the book is much better.
Okay. Sure. Alrighty. Yeah. All right. Now, everybody loves what they've heard. How do we order if we want to get some beautiful charcuterie boards or cups at our event?
Right now, I kind of have it to where you can text, call, message on any social media. I'm working on a easier way on my website to order. But right now, call, text, message me. Any way you can get in contact with me, you can place an order directly to me. Pretty soon, you'll be able to order on my website. But for now, call, text, or social media.
And what kind of job? Do you have a specialty or a range? Do you have minimum orders or maximum?
Nope. I do single lunch orders or weddings.
Okay.
So anything in between, and I do deliver lunch during the week. So, yeah.
Concierge service, y'all.
Yeah.
Save you time. And then if we want it, how far in advance notice do you need?
Preferably the day before. It really just depends on how busy I get. In the slow times, I'm able to do it.
But what if it's a wedding?
Definitely. I would say a month at least, but I would hope you're planning for your wedding more than a month in advance.
Well, maybe something fell apart, last minute.
But I can pull something together pretty quickly. So,
nice.
Yeah.
And how do people stay in touch with you? I know that maybe you're not ordering, it's not time, but you definitely want to see what's coming up. Keep her on your radar. Where do we follow you?
Facebook and Instagram.
And your name?
On Instagram, it's Edible Creations by MK, and then Facebook the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And So you can find out about Meghan and other business owners by signing up for the Karina Show email list. You just go to thekarinashow.com. That's how, I mean, I think, no, I wasn't following you up until today. I've seen you, I've met you at events, but I wasn't officially seeing you. And so you'll get to see when you sign up for Karina's, every week there's going to be a new business owner that she's going to bring in front of you, right, front and center. So you can also, if you don't already follow Karina, you should. Where are you? What's wrong? Get on hers because she's on there every single day telling you whatever was on her mind, what's new happening here in Brenham. And it is at the Karina Show. Mm-hmm. So you will get to know your community up close and personal. So thank you so much, Meghan, for being part of the Karina Show podcast.
Yes, I'm excited.
Can't wait to see what's coming up for you for 2024.
Me too.